Hello, you're very welcome back. Olalan is following Milton, who has already gone down into Ulro. So we're going to follow her and take a look at the place. On the way down, the daughters of Beulah, they pull out all the stops to put a favourable look on what's going on. Now it's not easily done because as they bring up the topic of the pleasant imaginations that come from a person's head or heart or passions. There's no getting around the dreadfulness of this place, or Ulro. Ur sounds like Ur to me, not in the sense of the ancient city, but in the sense of a primal Ulro. Olalan, in going there, gives Ur Ulro the sense of a place of self sacrifice. It would appear that she's matching the self sacrifice of Milton, who annihilates his self or his ego to play his part in the reconciliation of himself to his Olalan, who, of course, is the collective name for the emanations of his three wives and three daughters. They follow Milton's path. I shouldn't laugh. They follow Milton's path down into Ulro, and they can't believe what they see. It's a dreadful sight. A polypus, like an immense globular living mess of an organism that's connected by fibers that are like networks into the limitations of time and space. The whole thing comes across like death itself, and the death is caused by the 27 church ages. This signifies then the path of false religion through history. So I guess it's darkest just before the dawn. Anyway, let's gird up our lions, so to speak, and take a look. And all the songs of Beulah sounded comfortable notes to comfort Olalan's lamentation, for they said, "Are you the fiery circle that late drove in fury and fire the eight immortal starry ones down into Ulro dark, rending the heavens of Beulah with your thunders and lightnings? And can you thus lament, and can you pity and forgive? Is terror changed to pity, O wonder of eternity?" And the four states of humanity in its repose were showed them. First of Beulah, a most pleasant sleep on couches soft, with mild music tended by flowers of Beulah, sweet female forms winged or floating in the air spontaneous. The second state is Allah, and the third state Al Ulro. But the fourth state is dreadful. It is named Or Ulro. The first state is in the head, the second is in the heart, the third in the loins and seminal vessels, and the fourth in the stomach and intestines terrible, deadly, unutterable. And he whose gates are opened in those regions of his body can from those gates view all these wondrous imaginations. But Olalan sought the Or Ulro and its fiery gates, and the couches of the martyrs, and many daughters of Beulah accompany them down to the Ulro with soft, melodious tears. A long journey and dark through chaos in the track of Milton's course, to where the contraries of Beulah war beneath negation's banner. Then viewed from Milton's track, they see the Ulro, a vast polypus of living fibres down into the sea of time and space growing, a self devouring, monstrous human death 27-fold. Within it sit five females and a nameless shadowy mother, spinning it from their bowels with songs of amorous delight and melting cadences that lure the sleepers of Beulah down the river Storgay, which is Arnon, into the Dead Sea. Around this polypus Los continual builds the mundane shell. Four universes round the universe of Los remain chaotic. Four intersecting globes, and the egg-formed world of Los in midst, stretching from zenith to nadir in midst of chaos. One of these ruined universes is to the north, named Orthona, one in the south. This was the glorious world of Urizen, one to the east of Luva, one to the west of Tharmas. But when Luva assumed the world of Urizen in the south, all fell towards the centre, sinking downward in dire ruin. Here in these chaoses the sons of Olalan took their abode, in chasms of the mundane shell, which open on all sides round, southward and by the east within the breach of Milton's descent. To watch the time, pitying and gentle to awaken Urizen, they stood in a dark land of death, of fiery corroding waters, where lie in evil death the four immortals pale and cold, and the eternal man, even Albion, upon the rock of ages. Seeing Milton's shadow, some daughters of Beulah, trembling, returned, but Ollalon remained before the gates of the dead. And Ollalon looked down into the heavens of Ulro in fear. They said, how are the wars of man which in great eternity appear around, in the external spheres of visionary life, here rendered deadly within the life and interior vision? How are the beasts and birds and fishes and plants and minerals here fixed into a frozen bulk, subject to decay and death? We made it in one piece, so just a few extra things to help. The river Storge means parental affection, and the idea of parental love creating the newborn is then associated with the river Arnon, which flows out of Jordan west through a magnificent gorge and then on into the Dead Sea. It signifies the female genital tract. So we've been given a sense of being born into this nasty Ulro, which has already been described as death. It seems awful to say that we're born into death, but it's something that's already been stated in the Bible, where it says that those who are not reborn with the Spirit are viewed as being spiritually dead. So, in that way, then, all of us are born into death. Blake then places Ulro, Golgonooza, and the states of the four Zoas in relation to each other and the polypus. He tells us again of Luva deliberately disregarding his place in the mind of Albion and supplanting Urizen's position in the south. This causes internal collapse, the breakdown of Albion's psyche. Some of the daughters of Beulah can't handle all this ugliness and they leave. The sons of Olalan stay in the depths of the place. They've determined that they're going to be there when Albion awakes. Olalan waits at the gates of Olra, looking down into the place. She thinks about the wars in eternity that cannot kill, but in this internalized mind of man in Ulro, war is not mental, it's corporeal and produces nothing but evil. So that's it for this reading. Thanks a lot for listening, and I hope to see you next time. Bye bye.